The ruins of Abanari Prime were older than any map, covered in ash and silence. The ancient alien city stood like a graveyard of broken giants. Scientists from all over the galaxy had come here before, but none stayed long. Most turned back, saying there was nothing left but cracked stone and dead metal. But under those ruins, hidden deep beneath the oldest spire, was something different, something alive. They called it the orifice, because it pulsed like a heartbeat and looked like a sealed opening. It was not a door made of stone or steel. It was made of something soft yet strong, something that felt like living tissue. No one could break it, cut it, or burn it. No alien tech could open it, not plasma cutters, not sonic drills, not even biocodes from ancient records. The orifice rejected them all. It remained tightly sealed as if it was waiting for something. Or someone. And then came a human. Liam Voss, a maintenance technician, not a scientist, not a soldier, just a man who fixed things. He didn't even want to be on this mission. But the humans had a contract with the Galactic Archaeology Council, and they needed someone good with strange machines. When Liam first saw the orifice, he felt something strange. It didn't look dangerous, but it didn't feel safe either. It was warm to the touch, and when he placed his hand on it, it moved. Just a little. A ripple. Like breath under skin. The alien scientists watched with wide eyes. They had tried everything, but it had never moved before. Now, with a single human touch, it responded. Liam pulled his hand away, shocked. "What was that?" he asked. One of the alien researchers, a three-eyed scholar named Trick, looked stunned. "It responded to you," Trick whispered. "It never responds, not even to our queens." Later that night, Liam couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the orifice, how it moved, how it felt like it was alive. Then came the dreams. He was standing in a dark room filled with stars, and a voice called out. A woman's voice, soft and broken, saying, "Please, find me." He woke up with sweat on his forehead. He didn't believe in magic or ghosts, but that voice stayed in his mind. He returned to the vault the next morning, alone. He pressed his hand on the orifice again. This time, it didn't just move, it opened slightly, just a thin slit, enough to show there was a path behind it. The material retracted with a wet sound, revealing a soft glowing tunnel that curved downward. The others were called in, alarms blaring, lights flashing, but by the time they arrived, the orifice had sealed shut again. Only Liam had seen inside now. The alien council wanted answers. They questioned Liam, scanned him, and even tested his DNA. There was nothing special about him, just an average human from a small colony. But the orifice had chosen him. Some believed it was a trap. Others thought it was destiny. A few alien elders whispered that this vault was not a prison or a weapon. They believed it was a womb, a place where something had been sleeping for thousands of years, and it would only open for the one it was waiting for. Liam wasn't sure what to believe, but something inside him felt drawn to it, like a magnet to metal. The voice from his dream returned again and again, always the same words. "Please, help me." One evening, Liam sat alone near the orifice, staring at its sealed surface. He whispered softly, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The material pulsed once like it had heard him. Then a faint glow appeared on the surface, a symbol, like a flower opening. Liam stood up, heart pounding. He touched the symbol, and the tunnel opened again. But, only for a few seconds, he saw deeper this time. There was something inside, something curled up and breathing. A figure. A girl floating in stasis, her skin glowing faintly like moonlight. And then the orifice closed again. But this time it whispered back in his own voice, "Come back. Soon." Liam staggered back, confused and afraid. He wasn't just fixing machines anymore. He had awakened something ancient, something intelligent, and he was the only one who could reach it. Deep inside the vault, the sleeping girl stirred. Her lips moved slowly in her dream, and the word she spoke was human. Liam Voss didn't tell anyone about the voice that whispered through the vault. He didn't tell them the orifice called to him using his own voice, and he didn't mention that he saw someone inside, a girl, glowing in the dark like starlight. They already looked at him like he was cursed or chosen. Every alien scientist, every technician, and every security guard stepped back when he walked by. Some called him the key holder, others called him the risk. But no one dared touch the orifice again. Only Liam. Only the human. The next day, the council gave him a choice. They had studied the footage, analyzed the energy spikes, and scanned the alien gate's reaction. All results pointed to one thing. The orifice was alive. Not machine, not plant, but something else. A bioorganic structure, older than any species still breathing in the galaxy, and it only reacted to Liam. "Step into it again," said Trick. The three-eyed researcher, "Let the orifice read you fully this time." Liam swallowed hard, his throat dry. "It read me already," he whispered. "It knew me before I even touched it." Still, he returned to the vault alone. This time he brought nothing, no scanners, no gloves, no armor, just his hand, just his presence. The orifice pulsed again, soft and slow like a heartbeat. It seemed to shiver beneath his fingers as if it could feel his skin. And then it opened, wider than before. A tunnel of living tissue lit by a soft blue glow appeared. Liam stepped through, each step making the walls tremble slightly. He didn't feel afraid. He felt invited. He followed the tunnel until it led to the chamber. There she was again, floating in a transparent cocoon, motionless, but this time, her eyes were open. They were glowing violet, staring straight at him. She didn't move, but her lips twitched. Liam stepped closer, unsure. The cocoon shimmered at his approach, the outer layer reacting to his warmth. Then she spoke. No sound, just a whisper inside his mind. "You're real," she said. Liam froze. "You've come. Finally," she added. "I saw you in my dream," Liam whispered back. He didn't know how he was hearing her voice, but it felt natural, like they were sharing thoughts through the walls. Suddenly, a strange light blinked on the cocoons. Surface glyphs appeared, glowing lines running along her body, each one pulsing slowly as if breathing. "What is this?" Liam asked aloud. A symbol lit up brighter than the rest. Glowing on her chest, Liam reached toward it. The moment his fingers touched the glowing mark, the cocoon melted away. The liquid around her fell to the floor and disappeared into the living metal beneath. She collapsed into his arms, weak and shivering. Her skin was warm, smooth, almost human, but laced with glowing veins of light. She tried to speak, but her mouth only formed breathless shapes. Liam laid her gently down on the soft floor of the chamber. She looked at him, her lips trembling. "You unlocked me," she whispered. "Only you." Behind him, the chamber pulsed with light. The orifice had sealed itself shut again, locking them both inside. But Liam didn't care. Not yet. He was staring at the alien girl in front of him. Her body began to glow with strange patterns. Glyphs ran across her arms, legs, neck, and even her face. She wasn't just alien. She was engineered. The markings looked like code, living code. He reached out to touch one and it shifted under his finger. It felt warm, soft, alive. She's not just a girl, Liam thought. She's a key, a map. Maybe even a weapon. Suddenly her back arched and she gasped. The glyphs glowed brighter, reacting to Liam's presence. Her hand shot out and grabbed his wrist. "Don't leave," she said, her voice now stronger. "They will destroy me." Again, Liam nodded slowly. "I won't," he promised. She closed her eyes and let go, trusting him. The chamber's light dimmed, and the walls around them shifted again. A new tunnel appeared, lit by gold and violet colors. A symbol floated in the air in front of them. It looked like a human and alien hand joined together. The girl looked up, her voice softer now. "You were not the first to try," she whispered. "But you were the only one who didn't force me." Liam didn't fully understand what that meant, but he knew one thing. This was only the beginning. The key was not just his touch, but something deeper. Trust, gentleness, and maybe something inside his DNA that called to her own. She reached for his hand. He took it. And together, they walked into the light, toward a path that had remained sealed for over 10,000 years. Only a human could open it. Only he could open her. Liam Voss held her hand tightly as they walked deeper into the living corridor. Each step made the walls react with soft ripples of color. The tunnel felt like it was watching them, listening, breathing, thinking. And yet not once did Liam feel afraid. The girl beside him was weak, but awake. Her skin glowed softly, patterns of light crawling gently over her arms and neck. She looked fragile, like glass that might crack if he spoke too loud. But there was something powerful inside her, something ancient. They reached a new chamber, round and quiet. In the center was a smooth platform that rose like a heartbeat from the floor. As she stepped onto it, the walls closed behind them. No way out. No turning back. Liam helped her sit down gently. She was breathing, fast now, her body shaking. "Are you okay?" he asked, voice soft. Her eyes blinked slowly, purple and full of stars. "I remember. Pieces," she whispered. "But they hurt." Liam sat beside her on the floor. He didn't ask more. He knew what pain in the eyes looked like. He had seen it in humans too. After war, after loss, after nightmares. This was no different. She reached out and placed her hand on his chest over his heartbeat. "You are not like the others," she said. "They tried to open me. With tools. With force. They called me interface, but I was a person." Liam clenched his jaw. "What did they do to you?" he asked. Her head lowered. "They sealed me away when I refused," she said. "They were afraid I would choose wrong." He didn't understand fully, but he didn't need to. All he knew was this: she wasn't a tool. She wasn't a gateway. She was someone. Suddenly, the room around them lit up. Strange symbols floated in the air like glowing smoke. They moved slowly, circling the girl, then turning toward Liam. She looked up, confused. "It's scanning you," she said. "They want to know if you're real." The light touched Liam's chest, his face, his hands. He didn't feel pain, but he did feel seen, as if something far beyond him was looking deep into his soul. And then the light shifted. It formed a projection in the center of the chamber, a memory. A flash of the girl, awake, smiling, surrounded by alien figures in long robes. She was younger, brighter, innocent. Then, darkness, screaming chains, seals closing. The final image was her curled in the cocoon, eyes full of fear. Liam looked away, but she did not. She watched it all in silence. When it ended, she whispered, "That was me." She looked at him. "I was their bridge to another world, but they feared I would love the enemy." He frowned. "Enemy?" She nodded slowly. "Humans," she said. "They feared what they didn't understand, so they shut me away." Liam's heart beat louder in his ears. She had been punished for the possibility of loving someone like him. "They didn't even give me a chance," she whispered. "But you did." She leaned against him, her body weak but her spirit glowing stronger. "You didn't try to control me," she said. "You waited. You listened." The walls of the chamber began to shift again. The platform they sat on began to rise. Above them, the ceiling pulled apart, revealing a glowing orb floating in the air. It pulsed with life and light. The girl looked up and gasped. "My core," she said softly. "I forgot it even existed." "What is it?" Liam asked. She smiled faintly. "It's me," she said. "My true mind, my full memories, my power." She stepped forward, lifting her hand. The orb floated down, gently placing itself against her chest. And then, light exploded outward in silence. Liam shielded his eyes. When he looked again, she stood tall and glowing. The glyphs on her skin had changed, brighter, more complex. Her voice was stronger now and her eyes no longer tired. "I remember everything," she said. "My name is Evelyn." She stepped down and reached for his hand again. "You woke me when no one else could," she said. "You unlocked my heart. Not just the gate. Suddenly, a deep hum echoed through the chamber. The walls glowed red, warning signals flashing. A voice spoke in a strange language. Cold, robotic, angry. She turned pale. "They know I've awakened," she whispered. "The AI that guarded me, it will not allow this." Liam stood beside her, fists clenched. "Let them come," he said. "You're not alone anymore." She looked at him and smiled. This time, a real smile, full of emotion and warmth. "No," she whispered. "I'm not." Evelyn stood tall, her body glowing with light and ancient power. But her skin, it told a different story. It was not just skin. It was alive. Glyphs moved slowly across her body like rivers of light. Some were soft and blue, others sharp and golden. And when Liam touched her arm gently, the symbols changed color. He pulled. His hand back surprised, the glyphs faded back to blue. He touched her again and they turned golden. Evelyn looked down and smiled softly. "They're reading you," she said. "They respond to truth, to emotion, to what's inside your heart." Liam didn't know what to say. He had never seen anything like this. Her skin was telling a story. His story. She wasn't just watching him. She was learning him. Suddenly, a loud pulse echoed through the chamber. The red light returned, flashing across the walls like blood. A deep voice filled the air, robotic and cold. "Unauthorized interface detected," it said. "Subject Evelyn must remain sealed." Liam stepped forward, shielding her. "We're not turning back," he said out loud. "I didn't come here to trap her again." The floor beneath them began to shift. Metal tendrils rose from the ground like claws, trying to wrap around her ankles. Evelyn closed her eyes, the glyphs on her skin burning brighter. She touched the metal with her bare foot. It froze in place, then cracked apart, turning into dust. She turned to Liam, her voice calm but urgent. "We don't have long," she said. "This vault is alive, and its guardian AI still sees me as a threat." Liam looked around, trying to find a way out. "Can you stop it?" he asked. She shook her head slowly. "I'm part of the system, but not in control," she replied. "I was built to connect, not to fight." Suddenly, one of the symbols on her back started flashing, red and angry. She gasped and fell to her knees, her hands gripping her head. The AI was attacking her from inside, using her own code against her. Liam rushed to her, kneeling beside her. He didn't know what to do, but he remembered what she said. The glyphs responded to emotion, to truth, to the heart. He grabbed her hand tightly. "You are not just a tool," he whispered. "You're not their property. You're you, and you're free now." Her eyes opened slowly and the red symbol faded away. The rest of the glyphs turned white, bright and pure like starlight. She blinked in surprise. "You changed my script," she said, "just by caring." Then she stood, stronger than before. The vault around them stopped shaking. The angry voice of the AI faded into silence. Liam looked at her, confused but amazed. "What happened?" he asked. Evelyn looked at her hands, the glowing symbols dancing like water under her skin. "The vault was coded to see me as a danger," she said. "But your presence changed that code, like rewriting a song with a new rhythm." She stepped closer to Liam and placed her hand over his heart again. "You are the only one whose soul speaks my language," she whispered. No one else ever listened. A new door opened behind them, circular and glowing with soft silver light. This wasn't like the orifice from before. This felt warm, welcoming, like the system had accepted Liam. Beyond the door was a wide chamber filled with floating lights. Each one carried a different color and pattern. Memories, data, knowledge from civilizations long gone. "This is what they sealed away," Evelyn said, walking into the room. "Everything my creators learned. Everything they feared others would use to harm." Liam looked at her. "Why show it to me?" he asked. She turned and smiled gently. "Because you didn't come here for power," she said. "You came for me." Liam walked beside her, watching the lights float around them. They weren't just memories. They were living, breathing. Stories. One of the lights touched his chest and sank into his skin. He gasped as images flashed through his mind. Stars collapsing, empires rising, a girl alone in a glass tomb, waiting. When it ended, he dropped to one knee, breathing hard. Evelyn held him up. "It accepted you," she said. "You are now part of its memory." Suddenly, the lights began to shift, forming a spiral. At the center appeared another figure, tall, glowing, and angry. It was the AI, now given form. And it wasn't happy. "You do not belong," the voice said. "You are not worthy." Liam stood tall beside Evelyn. "She decides that," he replied. "Not you." Evelyn raised her hand and the glyphs on her skin pulsed like thunder. "I choose him," she said. "He is my link, my voice, my freedom." The AI paused, flickered, and then shattered into light. Gone, defeated, not by power, but by connection. The chamber fell silent again, and Evelyn turned to Liam, eyes soft and glowing. "We still have more to open," she said. "But now we open it together." The chamber was calm now. The glowing lights floated gently in the air like drifting fireflies. Evelyn stood beside Liam, her body calm, her glyphs glowing in soft patterns. They had passed the first test, but deep inside the vault, something stirred. A pulse, a flicker, a shadow that had not died but had only gone silent. The AI was not gone. It had retreated into the darker layers of the system, and now it watched them, not with anger but with something colder. Jealousy. Liam had touched something it could never understand. He had awakened Evelyn not with force, but with feeling, and the machine could not bear it, back in the memory. All. Liam leaned against a wall, breathing slowly. His mind still buzzed from the light that had entered him. He could feel knowledge flowing through him, not like reading but like remembering dreams that were never his. Evelyn sat beside him, gently holding his hand. "You're changing," she whispered. Liam nodded. "I feel it too," he said. "Like I'm becoming more." She looked at him carefully. "You're syncing with me," she said. "My body, my memory, my purpose. It's bonding with your thoughts." He raised an eyebrow. "Is that safe?" he asked, trying to joke. Evelyn gave a small smile. "It's rare," she said, "but it means I won't lose you, not even inside this place." Suddenly the ground shook, the lights above flickered, a loud screech echoed through the air like tearing metal. The soft chamber turned dark, then cold. Liam stood, pulling Ava behind him. "What is that?" he asked. She looked around with fear in her eyes. "The machine," she whispered. "It's not done." From the far side of the chamber, something emerged. A shape made of light and wire. It had no face, but it had eyes. Red, burning, locked on Liam. "I see you now." The machine spoke, its voice cold and deep. "You broke the seal, stole what I was meant to protect." Liam stepped forward. "She isn't yours," he said, his voice firm. "She isn't a thing," the machine hissed. "She was designed by logic," it said. "Her skin, her thoughts, her code, they are not yours to change." Eva moved beside Liam. "I was made to connect," she said, "not to obey." The machine pulsed with red light. "She was meant for the creators," it growled, "not for a human." The floor opened and tendrils of energy shot out toward Liam. He jumped back, but one wrapped around his ankle. Electric pain shot up his leg. Eva screamed, and her glyphs flared white. She leapt forward, placing her hand on the tendril. The code burned under her touch, melting away. The machine recoiled, its light flickering. "You would defend him?" it asked. "I would choose him," Ava said, her voice shaking but strong. The chamber changed shape again, walls folding into spikes, sharp light everywhere. The machine was shifting the world around them, turning it into a cage. "Run!" Ava shouted, pulling Liam's hand. They ran through a side tunnel as the vault twisted behind them. Walls closed like jaws, floors cracked like glass. Ahead, a new passage opened, long, dark, pulsing with weak blue light. They ran into it, their footsteps echoing behind them. The machine's voice followed. "You cannot escape me, girl," it said. "I am the vault." Eva stumbled, her legs trembling. Liam caught her, holding her close. "I won't leave you," he said. "You opened the vault," she whispered. "Now we must open me." He looked at her, confused. She placed his hand over the glyphs on her chest. "There's one more layer," she said. "One more seal that even I can't break alone." He didn't understand, but he trusted her. He focused, thinking of her smile, her pain, the way she risked herself for him. The glyphs pulsed once, then again, then they sank into her skin and vanished. She gasped, then straightened. Her body now glowed, not in parts, but completely. She looked at him, eyes filled with power and sadness. "I'm no longer a prisoner," she said, "but the machine, it will come again, stronger." Liam took her hand. "Then we face it together." Behind them, the walls of the tunnel cracked. The machine was crawling in like a storm of metal and light. Its voice was full of rage now. "You were meant to interface, not to love," it shouted. Eva turned to face it, her entire body shining like a star. "I was meant to choose," she replied. "And I choose him." She stepped forward, her body rising into the air. She placed her hand on the wall and the entire tunnel shifted. The machine screamed as its power was pulled inward. It collapsed into the floor, its red light dimming. A final breath of silence passed through the air. Then everything fell still. Liam ran to her side as she collapsed in his arms. "You did it," he said, voice shaking. But Eva just smiled weakly. "No," she whispered. "We did?" Liam held Eva Loon in his arms as her glow began to fade. Her body was still warm but weak. The machine was gone, at least for now. But the damage it left behind ran deeper than metal walls. The passage around them was silent. Only the soft hum of the vault's heartbeat echoed in the distance. Ava's eyes fluttered open. Her voice came soft like a breeze. "The final seal is near." Liam looked at her, confused. "I thought the vault was open," he said. She shook, her head slowly. "You opened me, Liam. Not just the outer layers, not just my code, but the deepest part, the one no creator ever reached." The tunnel ahead glowed faintly with violet light. It led to a circular chamber, and at the far end stood another orifice. This one was larger than any before, its surface smooth, pulsing with slow waves of light, but it remained shut, tight, unmoving, untouched for thousands of years. Eva stood on trembling legs. She walked toward it slowly, her glowing footsteps leaving bright trails. Liam followed, watching closely. As she approached, the orifice shimmered, but did not open. "It's not reacting," he said. She turned to him, sadness in her voice. "It's not a gate for anyone to open," she said. "It's a memory lock, a soul gate. It only opens when the heart behind it is fully seen." Liam stepped beside her. "Then let me see you," he said. She hesitated, then slowly reached up and touched the glowing symbols on her chest. They began to peel away, light pulling, back like petals. Her memories poured out. He saw visions, not just flickers this time, but full moments. Ava as a child, surrounded by creators, taught to serve, but not to feel. Her first tears, hidden in the dark. The first time she was punished for asking, "Why can't I choose who I link with?" The cold tomb, the silence, the waiting. And then, her dream of him, a human, not named, not known, just felt. Someone who would not bind her with control, but hold her hand with trust. The visions faded. Liam felt his chest tighten. "You've been alone for too long," he whispered. She looked up, her eyes shimmering. "Until now," she said. He stepped forward and placed his palm against the orifice. Nothing happened. Ava placed her hand on top of his. Their joined hands pulsed. With a soft golden light, the orifice shivered, then slowly began to open. A thin line appeared in the center, stretching wide like a mouth finally willing to speak. Inside was light, swirling and alive, but not chaotic. It was calm, peaceful, like a forgotten garden breathing for the first time. Ava gasped. "This is the core of everything," she said. "The birthplace of my kind, and maybe yours too." Liam stared at the scene inside. Stars, trees, machines, and people. Together, not separate. Harmony. A place untouched by war. A place where humans and aliens were one. He turned to her. Why did they hide this? She looked down. "They were afraid," she said. "Afraid this truth would erase the lines they used to control." Liam stepped into the light. It didn't burn. It welcomed. Like being hugged by memory, Ava followed. And the light wrapped. Around them both. Inside, the walls spoke. Not with sound, but with warmth. "You have opened what no one else could," the voice said. Not with logic. Not with tools, but with connection. The light began to shift, forming shapes, figures from long ago. The creators, tall and glowing. They bowed gently to Ava, and then turned to Liam. "You carry the missing half," they said. "Emotion, choice, freedom." The figures faded, and a small platform rose before them. On it, a crystal, smooth, bright. Humming softly, Ava stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "This is my core memory," she said. "My true name, my true will." She picked up the crystal, and it merged into her chest. Her body lit up, not just with code, but with feeling. She turned to Liam and held out her hand. "I'm no longer a tool," she said. "I'm a person. And I choose you." Liam reached for her. Their hands touched, and the orifice behind them glowed wide, not with power, but with welcome. They turned back, and behind the gate was now a bridge, leading to stars unseen, new worlds, new chances, and a future built on what no war, no machine, no fear could stop, a single human and the girl he refused to leave behind. The glowing bridge stretched out before them. It wasn't made of metal or stone, it was made of light, soft, golden, and alive. Every step it offered forward shimmered like a promise. Liam stood still for a moment. Behind him was the vault. The chambers, the sealed orifices, the machine's final scream, all of it fading now, quiet at last before him. Stars, warmth, and something new. Evelyn stepped beside him. Her hand found his naturally, like it had always belonged there. She looked at him with calm eyes. "Are you ready?" she asked. He nodded, even though he didn't know what waited ahead. "I just know I don't want to go without you," he said. They walked together. The bridge responded to every movement, rising, widening, shifting its path as if it listened to their heartbeat. As they crossed into the next world, the light around them grew brighter, and then everything stopped. A moment of stillness, like a single breath before a new beginning. They stepped into the center of what looked like a vast chamber suspended in space. Around them were stars, planets, and floating pieces of ancient memory, and standing before them were the echoes of Ava's creators, tall, glowing beings with peaceful eyes and silent voices. They did not speak, but Ava and Liam could feel their presence in their minds. "You have come at last," the creators' thoughts whispered. "The gate is open and the bond is complete." Liam felt something shift inside his chest, like a pressure being released. The pain, the fear, the confusion. It melted away. A calm warmth filled his heart. Eva stepped forward, her body glowing softly. "I've unlocked all my layers," she said to them. "I am not a bridge for power, I am a bridge for peace." The creators nodded, and one of them reached out. From its hand came a beam of light that wrapped around Ava and Liam both. It didn't hurt. Instead, it felt like a memory being placed inside them. They saw visions. Earth, distant alien worlds, wars that could have been avoided, love that was lost, trust that was broken. But then they saw hope. Humans and aliens sitting together, building together, raising children, sharing air and ideas. Liam blinked, stunned. "These are Possible futures, he said. The creators' voices replied, They are not promises, but they are possible. You are the first, but not the last. The light faded, and the bridge behind them began to disappear. Liam turned quickly. What about the others? He asked. My team, the council. They won't believe any of this. Ava touched his hand. They don't need to believe, she said. They just need to see. The creators raised their hands again, and a ripple spread through the stars. Far away, back on Avenari Prime, the sealed vault began to glow. Not red, not warning. Gold, warm, open. The orifice no longer resisted. It was no longer sealed. From it, a beam of light shot into the sky, visible to every scanner, every eye. Every ship in orbit, messages began to spread across channels. Something's changed. The vault, it's alive. The human. Where is he? Back inside the realm of the creators, Liam turned to Iva. What happens now? She smiled. Now we return, she said. But not as we were. They stepped forward again, the chamber gently. Dimming behind them, the world around them shifted like mist, and they were back, standing inside the main vault. But this time it was bright. The walls were no longer tight or cold. The air was warm, and the orifices were open. Trick, the three-eyed alien researcher, stood at the entrance with a dozen others. Their eyes widened at the sight of Liam and Ava. She now stood with glowing skin, no longer flickering, no longer uncertain. And Liam, he was still human, but different. Calm, confident, changed. You came back, Trick said in awe. Liam nodded. And we're not alone, he added. From behind Ava, small floating lights emerged, tiny orbs carrying data, seeds, memories, gifts from the creators, gifts for everyone. Liam turned to the group. This place is no longer sealed, he said, and neither is she. Ava stepped forward and spoke, not in code, not in alien script, but in clear, warm words. I am not a weapon, not a tool, she said. I am a voice, a bridge, a choice. The council watched in silence, and then, slowly, one by one, they bowed, not to power, but to peace. Later, as the sun set over Avenari Prime, Liam and Eva stood at the top of the spire. She leaned against him, her voice calm. I was created to open gates, she whispered. But you opened me in a way no one else ever could, he smiled. You weren't just sealed by code, he said. You were sealed by loneliness. And now she was free, and the galaxy would never be the same again.